Hey, what's going on everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome to another marathon video. And in today's video we have a quick public service announcement on some of the upgrades that you guys should be doing basically right away. These are some of the quickest upgrades you should be aiming for to essentially make your marathon experience better. Whether it's the server slam, whether it's the full game release, it is gonna make your early game of marathon much better, and it's definitely gonna give you an advantage over some people that maybe don't do these upgrades. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you guys do, subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. And now let's get into it. And first, in case you guys are wondering where to even get some of these upgrades, because I know the marathon menus still suck, and you know that means something coming from me that has played a lot of these tests with marathon. And if I'm still getting lost in some of these menus, then somebody completely brand new to the game is definitely going to have a hard time with these menus. But you go to factions, you go to Cyberarachne, which is actually like the very first one, and it's the one that you'll probably be leveling up most of the time at the very beginning, till you start like leveling up some of the other factions. But this is definitely where you're going to want to get your first couple of upgrades, because they have some really good just general upgrades. After that, we head down here to upgrades, and this is where we're going to have a couple of them that are definitely must-haves. The very first one is the scavenger.exe. This was going to increase your looting speed, meaning that it just increases how quickly the things appear whenever you start looting them. Whether it's somebody's body or just a container that you're looting, the things will just appear quicker, so you'll be able to actually see what's in there and actually grab what you want a little quicker. This one is fantastic, and you definitely see the difference going from not having this to just getting the first upgrade. This one's just really good, especially in the middle of just looting somebody. It means that you're not as vulnerable for as long, because you can see exactly what they have much quicker, take the meds, take their weapons if you have to, their shields, whatever you're taking. Just being able to loot faster means that you're not standing there being an easy target for as long as you would be otherwise. So I recommend that you get as many of these upgrades as quickly as you can. This one is actually fairly easy to get because it only requires credits. So you should be able to get these first two upgrades fairly easy. It's actually a plus 20 to your looting speed both times. So that's actually really good. Just getting these two gives you a plus 40, which is very nice. Now another one that's definitely going to be good is the expansion. This one is going to expand your vault by giving you another 8 slots in your vault, meaning that you can just throw more stuff in there. And it's going to make managing the early game loot much easier, much better. And it's going to let you hoard a couple more things that you might need for your runs. Now, unlike the other one, this one doesn't just require credits. This one does require a couple more of the materials you find around in the maps, being unstable gunmetal as well as unstable diode. And fortunately, whenever you hover over whichever material it is, it does tell you where to actually find it. Whenever I'm hovering over unstable diode, you can see that it says resources, and it gives a couple of places where you can find them, either in perimeter or in outposts. So no matter which map you're playing, you're always going to have a place to actually find it. Now, this is not going to be the case for every material. Each material is going to have kind of like their map, but some of these like beginner materials are going to be sticking to like the beginner maps. Like this one, in perimeter, you can find it in the north and south relay, and in outpost, you can find it in flight control, as well as the dormitories. Now, those two places are not the only places where this material will spawn, but is where you will find a lot of it. So if you want to just get a lot of it, you want to go to those two places. Now if we go to the gunmetal, you can see that we have 2 spots in Dire Marsh at uplink and maintenance, and for perimeter we only really have one at station. So the materials, depending on their rarity, is really gonna come down to the map, but a lot of these like low level materials are gonna be mainly in the first 2 maps. If you're missing one of these specific materials, a lot of times I would just recommend just starting a rook run, going specifically to one of these areas and basically just loot as many of that material as you can, and essentially just get out immediately. If you happen to find, some dead runners, steal their stuff and then just immediately get out, extract, and get all your loot. Rook is really good at just going into one place, getting a lot of quick loot. And for getting these materials, Rook is perfect. And the last upgrade that you definitely want to have is going to be heatsink.exe. This one's going to come in handy when you're running around the map and also in gunfights, because that increases your heat capacity, meaning that you can actually run for longer and actually do a couple more actions like sliding. The heat system at the very beginning is very punishing, so you definitely want to increase your heat capacity. And also, if you can get quick bend, that's also a very nice plus, because it just means that you recover from that heat faster and you get to use it just a lot more often. The combination of these two is going to be fantastic together, because it just means that you can actually use your movement a lot more often. Especially if you're playing a character like Destroyer or Glitch, you definitely want to have that heat capacity. I think in the server slam we'll probably just be able to get these two. But that combined with some of the other things that you can actually slap on your load as well, with your implants, that should also increase your heat capacity a bit more, meaning that you should be able to just have a bit more, essentially, stamina. So you can actually like move along a lot more without hitting that overheated state where you just kind of stand there and just walk around very slowly. Because if you hit that in the middle of a gunfight, it's up. It's a very bad feeling. And the quick bend, like I said, it just means that you can actually get back into your action whenever you are overheated, just a little bit easier. So you definitely want to have heatsink and quick bend. This whole like rule right here, when the game fully comes out, is one that you definitely are gonna wanna just upgrade as quickly as you can, so you can just move faster and really take advantage of your movement. This is gonna be one of the first things that I definitely like try to max out once the game actually releases, because this is just gonna let you have so much more movement than someone that didn't actually pick up any of these upgrades. So if you're just starting your journey into the Marathon Slam, definitely pick up these 3 upgrades. They're gonna be very good, and they're gonna make the early game of Marathon much better. And I know Marathon and the early game can be very rough with just how many different things it throws at you. It's probably currently the biggest downside of Marathon, and definitely something Bungie has to change, because it's rough getting a new player into the game if they're just constantly bombarded with a bunch of things all at once and just feel confused all the time. But I'll talk a little bit more about that on the things that I hate about Marathon video that I'm working on. But thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one.